Sister,
All
what's
right,
your name
peace.
again? Shantae?
Shante. Yes.
Shantae. Okay, okay. You have to excuse me. I'm really bad with names. I'm good with
It's okay.
faces, but I'm bad with names. That's
It's
what
all
happens
good.
with age.
All
That's
right,
what happens.
peace up. Peace and black power, everybody. Want to welcome you to another NCRBGZ Productions. With that being said, this is Economic Empowerment Roundtable. So tonight we have a nice discussion set up for the family. Like always, I ask you to thumb up the video, leave a comment, share the video. Let your family and your friends know that we're alive and we're talking about economics. We're trying to see if we can change the literacy rate when it comes to economics in the black community, right? So with that being said, I want to thank y'all if you're watching it live. I want to thank you if you're watching the playback. I just want to thank you in general for taking the time out your day to watch us sit up here and talk. With that being said, I want to give my panel members opportunity to introduce themselves to the family.
Hello,
Hey,
family.
what's going
This is
on? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
all right. Hello, family. This is Leonard Walker. I'm out of Greensboro, North Carolina.
And I am Uncharted Truth, and I'm based here in San Diego, originally from Alabama. And glad to be back with NCRBGZ.
Mhm.
All right. And I also thank y'all for taking the time out y'all busy schedule to be up here as well, because y'all know other things that y'all can be doing yourself. So with that being said, something that we was talking a little bit, well, y'all was mostly talking about offline was real estate. So I wanted y'all to, y'all can jump right in. We know that right now that with this coronavirus that the stock market, had tanked, but it's trying to recover right now. But right now, but as it's trying to recover or semi-recover, no one has really been talking about the housing market. And right now, I feel like it's the best time, or it's going to be the best time to get prepared to start looking into the housing market because it took a major blow with this coronavirus as well. So, I just wanted to bring that up so y'all can jump right in and, just talk about it, however you feel.
And just for the record, I'm no expert. Everything I have learned or taught myself is all generally, self, or just researching and just my experiences as I mature and go through this thing we call life. So everything I do, I get around like-minded people or individuals, or even those that are um, I don't want to say where I want to be, but where I know I can gain something from their intellect or conversation, what have you. So I make sure I surround myself with people who uh who are either where I want to be in a sense, or they have some kind of experience, or they're wanting to build and grow. So I just wanted to throw it out there, and not to get, people get really discouraged when it comes to funds, financial, real estate, because it's very foreign. It's a very, very foreign language to our community and just in general for a lot of people. So I just wanted to just put that out there. It took me for my grandfather kicked me in my butt for a little bit, and he's like, "Hey, what you doing with your money? You make decent money. Are you saving?" And at the time, I was like, "No, barely." And I started taking that a little more seriously. And when I got to where I was comfortable, I was like, well, this money's just sitting here and it's not really growing. So I started looking into investing and what have you. 401k is one thing, or your TSP, what have you, is all that's totally different than money growing like now, like um, building, first of all, a name for myself, LLCs, whatever your thing is, corporations or what have you. If you're into those contracts or what have you, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say which is best or what have, or which one's best depending on your situation. But I've tried LLCs. I let it expire. I was like done with that, and I started looking into sole proprietorship. That one's a little more my tempo. And then I started looking into private investing, and me and my family got together. They were already ahead of me. They were already investing, and they started getting more properties, duplexes. But they do real estate with Section 8. So they're definitely getting money regardless of what the circumstances are. You know, as long as they have a tenant, they're getting paid. So I decided to look into that some more just so I can be a little more knowledgeable, and did my own studying, researching, asking a lot of questions to people that just didn't, you know, they knew of it, but they just didn't, I guess, expect the conversation to go towards, you know, investing and, you know, making promissory notes and things of that nature, really moving money around. So here it is. I think I'm actually going on my year 2 of, you know, being an investor on my first duplex, and I'm starting to see some money coming through. And then I also have some over in Senegal. That's a whole different story, whole different process due to the fact that it is in a non-Hague, it's a non-Hague convention nation. So there's a little flex there, and it's all about status and what have you to be able to invest in property like that. But you know, you can do a lot of things as long as you understand what you're getting into. So I'm not going to hog the mic. I'm just going to pass it over also to Mr. Howard here. And yeah, so just wanted to put that out there to our community. Do not be discouraged or discouraged. If there's something that you hear, write it down, look into it later on or what have you. This is all about learning. It's all about expanding our horizon and getting out of our comfort zone. So.
All right, all right. I think the sister, Shantae, she said something very important. She said that you don't have to go into this or into investing or into any type of financial literacy or financial improvement being an expert right off the bat. If you have some money and you're around smart people and people that have shown that they've proven that, okay, I've made money over time, then you can get a right along with them. What she's saying is you have 2 types of investment. The investment in the stock market is what you call public equity, all right? Where you put money in and you get a little bit of a return, but it's about volume, right? And then you have private equity, which is investing in a business or, like I said, ownership, okay? When you own real estate, that is private equity, okay? You can make, you know, if the economy's doing well and everything is going fine and you have good tenants where you live, or if you're flipping houses and the market is doing well, you can make, you know, large sums of money quick, all right? But it takes money to be able to do that. So, like I said, if you have money saved up, some capital, all right, and, you know, you want to look at trying to do something, then that's definitely something that you can research. I was talking to the sister before we got on because I was looking at getting into some real estate investment. Right now with COVID, real estate is kind of shaky. I'm looking at houses. One thing you got to understand about the real estate market is don't be afraid of high interest rates. If you I'm looking at prices of houses in different places, and I'm saying to myself, that's way too expensive for that house, right? But that's what the market is going for. You have to be careful because the interest rates are so low. The banks are going to get their money, right? So they're not going to get it up front. They're going to get it in time. And therefore, that's why you see these high houses. You see high prices for houses. You know, sometimes people say, "Oh man, this is way more than I can afford," right? And what it is the interest rates are low, so they try to make the payments in a range where people can afford them. All right, so but owning a house right now, I was doing some research right now. I know these stimulus packages and different things are about to end, and that when they end, it's going to be a little bit of a situation. We have 28 million people right now, eviction, ready to be evicted. If they're not evicted, they're going to be ready to be evicted, or they have, or preparing to be evicted because they have not paid rent because of, they've lost their jobs or whatever. Okay, whatever the situation may be. 28 million. All right. So that hurts. Obviously, that's going to hurt people that are being evicted, but one thing that people don't look at is how it's going to hurt the people that actually own the property. When you're a property owner and you rent your property out, you're in a contract with a tenant, depending on what your state laws are. And it's just not like you can just say, hey, listen, you know what? You haven't paid me, get out. It doesn't work that way. You got to go through eviction court, right? Some people may be familiar with that. You got to go through eviction court, and that could take a while. In the meantime, for every month that you've not been getting paid a mortgage, that mortgage has to be paid. Your tenants are not paying you, and they're not getting out of the property, or you can't, or you're still locked into that contract until the court says, okay, on this day, this person has to get out. So that person gets out, and more than likely the house is not in good shape. So now you've got to spend more money to get that house back in shape, all right, to be able to rent. Again, as a landlord or investment or real estate investor, you have got to make sure you have a cushion of money for those types of emergency situations, or some sort of insurance. Okay, for those types of situations. And this is the research that I was looking at from investors. But like I said, it's still, even with all of that said, even when the economy's down, all right, when the economy's down, put your money away and form a plan to either invest in something. This is the time when you make money. This is the time when millionaires and people get made, because like I say, it was when things are down and stocks are cheaper, or properties are cheaper, or all of this stuff is cheaper. You can leverage your position. And that's another thing that Brother Aru was saying is that you're going to have tax liens, you're going to have bank liens. One thing about it, a bank does not want to own property. They don't want to own property. They don't want a house. They don't want a car, right? So they want a loan off of that property, because that's how they make money. So you can negotiate and leverage that position to get some properties for less than you would normally get them, because, hey, this is distressed property. Mr. Bank, I'm here to take it off your hands, but I only got this much. Oh, you don't want to deal with me? Okay, I'll deal with somebody else who does. So, this is a time that a smart investor or a smart person takes advantage of these opportunities, because even though it's down right now, there are lots of opportunity out there. It's a lot of opportunity as things are kind of in chaos. And this is when people, 5, 10 years from now are on easy street. The younger you get involved with this stuff, the better. So
Absolutely.
that's my piece. Yep, that's my piece.
That's very true. I just wanted to piggyback on just a little bit what he mentioned. And as far as being a subject matter expert is not required. It honestly takes initiative and studying. Everything takes studying, regardless of what it is. You don't just jump into a craft and know exactly everything that you're doing. There will be some ups and downs. You're going to learn do's and don'ts and what have you. And I highly encourage, while you're learning or studying up on these types of things, again, expand your circle and around like-minded people. But a lot of people tend to forget also is understanding your state and how the state functions. As a citizen, you should be a citizen, obviously, to the state. There's a constitution for the state. So I will be familiar with not just the constitution, but also your state constitution and how they handle contracts. Contracts are very important. And I had this in front of me. I keep this, I keep my Black's Law Dictionary nearby, but I just want to read a section 10 out of one of the section article 1, and the last sentence says no state shall impair the obligation of contracts or grant any title of nobility. So again, I along with looking into investing, I also encourage that you understand law and that you understand contract law and things of that nature, because it will help you. More knowledge, the better off you are able to understand what you're getting yourself into, or if you have to get out, you know how to get out. So just wanted to add that on to what Mr. Miller said. Thank you.
Yeah, I see we have Brother Richard that joined the conversation. I want to let the brother introduce himself to the family and jump right in.
Hello. This is Richard out of Arkansas. Just jumping on. I love everything the sister had said that I caught. And the main thing I think we need to latch on to is she was right. Self-study is very important. But if we realize if we get a mentor, mentors are there to cut our learning curve. So if you get in a community, as she stated, that's talking about making money, and you're talking to your children about finances and return on investment and those types of things, man, we can't do nothing but as a community come up. We got to plant those seeds. So I just want to kick back and listen to you guys. This is great.
All righty. Brother Haru, what you got, man?
Well, I was just listening. Sometimes I like to sit back and listen. Sometimes it's good to be quiet and just listen, right? And give somebody else opportunity to expound on things. So, but as far as this property and this land is concerned, y'all basically, y'all put it all in a nutshell. And that's
Right.
that's really what it is,
Right. I think, like I said, and the sister was right about understanding and knowing your laws. This is why when you get into that, you may want to, when you create a, LLC, or you create whatever type of company you want to try to do this with, you might want to get like Legal Shield or some sort of legal someone to be able to say, hey, I'm looking at trying to do this. All right. I've created a contract, or I created a lease. All right. Or a rental agreement. Can I get somebody to look this over to make sure everything is straight? Okay. Or, how do the laws here in my state work? Okay. When it comes to certain things. I just like in North Carolina. All right. A lot of people don't realize this, but in North Carolina, and this is just with buying a car. All right. If you buy a car in North Carolina, it's what you call a lemon law. If it's a new car, what is it? You got 30 days to turn it back in if there's an issue or problem, or at least 72 hours. I know it's something like that. But if you buy a used car, buyer beware. However it is, the way you buy it is the way it is, and you can't, you can't get out of that, especially once you signed all the paperwork and driven it off the lot. And it's kind of the same thing. Anytime you're dealing with money, there's always laws involved, like the sister was talking about with the contracts. Make sure we read contracts. If you don't understand a contract, don't be afraid to say, you know what, I think I need to get somebody with a little bit more experience, a little bit more knowledge to look at this. Is it okay if I take this with me before we sign it? Or can I get my attorneys to look at this? Or can I, before I sign anything, right? And if a person is like, nah, you need to just go on and sign it, then you got to be prepared to walk away. All right?
Leave.
Yeah, that's like automatically a bad sign if somebody's trying to force you to sign a contract that you have not read, or you can't get any type of expertise to try to get you to understand what it is you're signing. See, so yeah, that contract law is definitely, and then that with like I said, with real estate property there, when you buy a house, it's a contract. You have to have attorney involved, okay, to be able to buy a house. So it's definitely some legality that's there involved with that. But this is the time, like I said, is right now. I was looking at doing something, but I'm being cautious, okay, because I've heard some things, and I'm looking at some prices. I've been a homeowner. This is my second home. I actually lost my first home. That's another story. So I soldiered in the military. Had a bad marriage. Lost my home, had it foreclosed on when I was younger. I'm in my second home. I'm nearly 20 years living in my second home. If something happens and you take an L, just know that you know, life ain't over. You can always rebound. You can recover. Look at it as a learning lesson. I learned a whole lot of lessons from, you know, the house that I lost, right? But the biggest lesson I learned was that, okay, I got myself back together. I got my credit back right, and I was able to get another one. So it's not, you know, the end of the world. So like I said, is yeah, in the financial environment, mistakes are gonna be made. You're gonna take some L's. It just is what it is, right? The key is that you learn from these things. Some stuff, there are some things that, you know, you're gonna take an L, and it's just, it was nobody's fault. It was like nothing that you did wrong. It was, you know, it just was circumstances. Kind of like how this COVID-19 situation is nobody could predict, you know, that this was going to happen, all right, except for, you know, certain senators that sold all of this stuff off. But that's a different conversation. But nobody could predict that any of this stuff was going to happen. And when it did, okay, some people, you know, are coming out of this, you know, a little worse for the weather, right? But at the same time, you know, you can only go so far down before you start going up. The key is if you're in a bad situation, you know, and like I said, if you're in a situation where you've been laid off, you know, you don't have any income coming in, you depending on stimulus checks and things like that, you know, try to figure out, hey, what are ways that I can make some money or I can hold on or hang on until things get better. Okay. There are, you know, there are jobs that are hiring right now, where, you know, there are jobs that are hiring and, you know, maybe it doesn't pay as much as you were making, but, you know, at this point, you're just trying to weather this storm. Okay. So, I mean, don't be discouraged. For those of us, you know, who are fortunate and blessed enough to be able to be in a better position, this is the time to get into an even better position. You know, like I said, I'm into the stock market. I just got into it, so you know, I'm fairly new, but it's things that I've learned as a beginner. I think, and we've talked about this before. One of the easiest things to kind of get into is ETFs. An ETF allows you to buy multiple top brand or top name stocks under one fund, kind of like a mutual fund, but it's less expensive, less fees, right? So give you a good example. You could buy, you know, right now, I think what were we looking at? We were looking at Amazon was like up to like $2,900 a share. That was the last time I looked at it, right? But you know, $2,900, that's one share of stock. $2,900, okay, for one, right? A lot of people starting out don't have $2,900 just to drop on one stock, right? Well, what you do is you buy an ETF. It may have some Amazon, may have Verizon, may have Facebook, Microsoft, you know, a bunch of different things, you know, Home Depot, Lowe's, a bunch of different things, right? For a fraction of that. And when I say a fraction, it could be, you know, $30, $40, $55. So now, okay, if you had, you know, $3,000 to invest, instead of buying one stock for $3,000, you can buy, you know, something that's $30 or $50. Now you can buy hundreds of shares of this and be able to have hundreds of shares and watch your stuff grow. Now, here's the thing. I think what people need to understand about, you know, playing in the stock market is there are two types of ways to be in the market. What you hear about mostly is people trading. All right, that means I'm gonna buy this stock. I'm gonna buy Netflix at $150 a share, and I'm gonna let it go all the way up to about $2,500 a share, and then I'm gonna sell it. All right, that's trading. Okay, that's, you make your money off of buying stocks low and selling them high. Then you have investing. Investing is when you buy ETFs. All right. And you buy ETFs and you continue to buy shares, you continue to buy shares, you continue to buy shares, and you hold on to them. Good thing about ETFs is ETFs usually pay a dividend. They either pay a yearly dividend, sometimes they pay a quarterly dividend, right? it just depends on what fund, you have to do your research on your fund to see how it pays out, right? But, investing is just taking, say, all right, I'm going to take $100 a month and I'm going to buy $100 worth of this, $100 worth of that, Yeah, some pay monthly, exactly. Yeah. You can get some that pay you a monthly dividend, right? That's another form of passive income. I mean, you'll start out, it may not be a whole lot. You might, off of your stocks, you might only get about $45, $50. Okay. Well, like I said, is if you stay steady, say, all right, I'm gonna take $100, I'm gonna buy this, I'm gonna buy that, I'm gonna get about 5 or 6 ETFs, okay? Buy this, keep doing this in industries that I know are gonna make money, because they got ETFs in energy, clean energy. I got some stuff that's in AI, video games, electronics, all kinds of stuff, right? You do your research and you can find out. But like I said, is that's a good beginner's way of doing this, all right, to get into the market, to start building up, a good solid portfolio, and then get it to where you have some you got some passive income. Let's just say every quarter your stocks are paying you $5,000. That's $5,000 coming to you every quarter off of your stocks that you weren't anticipating. That's $20,000 a year. Hey, that's passive. That's some passive income that you've made. That's better than a part-time job, okay, where you actually would have to work. So like I said, there's plenty of ways. What I suggest always, and you'll always hear me say this, is before you try to invest, learn how to save. That's it. When in our community, we have to learn how to save first. If you learn how to save, then you can learn how to invest, right? If you don't know how to save yet, then that's going to be a problem. That plus understanding debt, cost versus value, and then understanding how to control your debt and interest on your debt. High credit cards, things that, interest kills any type of investment that you have, right? So if you're investing in the market and you got credit cards that you're not paying off every month, that you're carrying a balance on, and that interest is 16, 17, 18% interest, or you got some other stuff that you're doing, no matter what you're making in investment, all of that interest you're paying to the credit card company is killing your investment, right? You could, your investment could be making 10%, 12%, right? But if you're paying 17, 18% on multiple credit cards, your interest is being killed. So pay your debt down, try to get, things that are low interest. Like I said, buying a home right now, you can get a home for about 3.5% interest, okay, depending on what your credit is, all right? If you buy a car, now they're telling you can buy a car for 0% interest, which really what they're doing is adding the price, the markup into the price of the car. But still, that's, the banks are still getting paid. But, point is that, credit cards, if you have credit cards, pay your credit cards down every single month, zero amount. Do not let the credit cards have interest, because that's 12%, anywhere from 12% to 19%. Do not make any of these high risky loans from these financial places. So yeah, I can get you $5,000 quick, or payday loan type people. You'll never finish paying it. So stay away from that kind of stuff. Live within your means. A lot of times, back in the day, growing up, if you didn't have the cash to buy it, you couldn't get it. That's always a good way, because either way, a credit card is not like free money where, I can get this and just, not have to pay for it. No, that's how you get in trouble. So like I said, these are just financial basics that everybody needs to know, especially within our community, especially young people, getting ready to go into college, people getting ready to be young adults, don't really kind of know about any of this kind of stuff. Parents, teach your children about finances through your example, all right? And then be the example. When your kids mess up, be like, wait a minute, hold on. You never seen us live like that. You never seen us get lights cut off. You never seen us, not having this or not paying bills. You weren't raised that way, so I expect you to be that way. Put that added pressure on those children, those grown children, so that they can be like, okay, well, I got to do right because he's right. I wasn't raised like that. And so, but anyway,
Let
I'm
me
getting ready
add.
to turn over.
Let me
Go ahead,
add on to something that the brother was talking about when he was talking about the stock market. Something else you can do is called contracts, and a lot of people are not familiar with the contracts as far as with the stock market. But with the contracts, it allows you to buy 100 shares of a stock basically for one price, and that's usually cheaper than the price of the contract. So with the contract, you got more than one way that you can buy a contract. You can buy a contract to go long. Now, when we say long, you mean that you expect the price of the stock to rise. Then you can do what we call as a put.
Yeah.
That's you expect the price of the stock to drop. Or you can bet, do a contract and say that the stock is going to stay the same price. Now, the difference is when you do a contract as the buyer compared to the seller, the buyer, that means that let's say you buy some stocks and the price of the stock when you buy it is $5, right? But you brought it for to go long, saying that the price that you expect the price of the stock to go up, right? So you can get these stocks for pennies. I mean, not the same price, because one share is 100 stocks. One contract is basically 100 shares of that stock. So let's say it go up to $10, right? Now you have the option that you can sell your contract. Somebody have to buy all of them, and then you can redeem them shares and put it on the market for a cheaper price compared to the market. So like, and this is I'm fresh into this. I ain't well schooled into it. I'm fresh into it, but I'm learning that you can make a lot of money with these contracts if you understand the stock market and know what stocks to pick and know the trajectory.
You're talking about options.
Yeah, options. Yeah,
Yeah, options. Yeah, options. Yeah, that you got to be on it. That's when you're a day trader.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah,
playing
yeah.
those options. You play
And
those, but like you said, is you can make money whether the market does good or bad.
yeah,
That's the good thing about options is once you get good at that, boy, if the market is down, you still making money. The market is up, you making more money. So yeah, that's
so
I think
let me give y'all a good example right now of how you can play the options. That's what I call this. Is how you can play it. You know that when the airlines, their prices drop, the boats, like MGM, any stocks dealing with motels, all of them stocks have dropped, right? So you know that eventually them stocks are going to go up. So it would be smart to get a contract and go long, expecting a rise in these stocks, the airline companies, MGM, the boats, like stocks and stuff like that. You can expect them to go up. So anybody can just go get an option and go long on it right now. Go long for 6 months. You can go long. You can pick the amount of time how long you want to go, and then also you can expect this. Just like you can expect the stocks of the airline, once people start back traveling and stuff, you can also expect Zoom stocks to go down. All these streaming platforms, their stocks are going to drop
mhm.
because once people start going out more, the stocks that went up while we've been in the house, it's going to change. You can expect that. Gas is cheap, right? Gas $1.87 where I stay at. So buy you some gas, invest in some companies for oil, and expect that price to go up.
Mhm.
You go long on it. So it's like just common sense things that we can do, but a lot of us is not privy to the information. And when you're not privy to the information, then you don't know. If you don't know, you can't fault nobody, right? But that's just something I wanted to bring up when you was talking about the ETFs and stuff.
Hey, can I add on to that, Stuart,
Yeah.
about those what I have noticed, because I've been studying those day traders, and the brother was right. The day trader versus the investor are different. The day trader, they are trading per day. And those puts, the ones you were kind of talking about, see, some of these people got accounts that have a certain amount of stocks, and they got a certain amount of money that they can play with. But I would tell you what I'm noticing about those day traders, the successful ones only study about 6 of them. It's only about 6 of them that they study. They'll do their stuff at 8 o'clock in the morning on those 6, and then by 9 o'clock, they're finished. So I agree with you. It's a way to make money, but it requires a lot of studying. And if you're young, you probably really need to get into that. But it's a lot of work to me, and that's just what I've seen from it. But I'm interested in the tax repercussions, so I'm looking at that angle before I get too deep. So I'm buying and holding instead of selling because I don't want to pay that capital gains.
Well, see, that's where your trust come in. See, that's where you have your LLC and your trust set up. That's where your trust come in. Because once your trust come in, you ain't got to worry about them taxes. That's why all this stuff is combined. All of it, your LLC and your trust, it's all combined. And that's what the rich folks do. That's why you can't tax the rich. They talking about raising the taxes on the rich. You want to know why you can't tax the rich? Because for one, ain't nothing in their name. And then the little small things that is in their name is under a trust. And how you get somebody to write up the trust, and then they leave you control of the trust, right? So you get somebody to write up the trust, and you can write the trust up yourself. And in the trust, you give somebody else the authority to run the trust. So the trust can be written up for somebody else, but they give you all the decision making of the trust. So now I make all the decisions dealing with the money, but it's my money all along. But the trust ain't written up in my name.
Right.
Yo, this is what these rich people are doing, man. And this is how they avoid it. And it's legal. There's nothing illegal about it, just that we don't know it. Yeah. So that's why your LLC and your trust, everything that you buy, supposed to go back to your trust. You're supposed to buy it to your LLC.
And I want to piggyback on that too. I don't mean to cut you off, brother.
Go ahead. No problem.
I'm not sure, the range of people or the knowledge of, when it comes to trust, because that used to be a real unfamiliar term to me until, you study upon it, things or what have you. So for those who just, you've heard of trust, but you're unfamiliar, what he is saying is it's just a right for someone to hold a legal title, basically, and they get to enjoy a property, but another person is held by another. The interest is held by another person. If that makes any sense, I'm trying to find a way to, I don't want to say dumb it down, but try to break it down on how people take advantage of it. And I hate to say it like that, but they do. It's a system for a reason. And just also there's all kinds of trusts. You got 2503, 2503C. You got all kinds of trusts. Active. I'm trying to think of a charitable trust. There's all kinds of trusts for people to splurge on, but at the same time, they're not held accountable, if that makes any sense at all. I hope it didn't make it any more complex, but I hope that helps us.
Yeah, because you got to understand, we have a straw man. The straw man of us is artificially made anyway by the government. So
all caps.
Artificial straw man is made anyway. So that's not us. So since they have an artificial straw man that we are attached to, if you know the game, just like the Matrix, like Neo, if you know how to write code, you can write codes, right? Well, trusts are codes. That's all they are. They're codes. So if you know the codes, you can play the game. So you know that they got an artificial you that they building anyway. So
Exactly.
now if you know the codes that to make you not liable for that artificial person that is you, then you can play the game.
Right.
It's a big game, man.
It's a huge game.
We just got to learn to play the game, man, and get into these UCC codes. And like even when you sign your name, it's a UCC code you're supposed to put after you sign your name. It's a code. It's depending on like if you buying let's say if you open up a bank account, right? You're supposed to sign your name, put UCC dash 122, all rights reserved. So
to add on to that, and you're absolutely right. And before you sign, you are even able to what's the word I'm looking for? Alter or readjust your contract. So just because they give you a contract, you pretend like you read over all that, those short, small print. You actually can say, I don't want to do this, line that shit out. And you just go until you agree. And if he doesn't agree with what you lining out, who is he to say? You're not paying him anything. You have an attorney there anyway. Supposed to when you do contracts. I recommend that. But most people who are already savvy and knows what's going on, there's no need for an attorney. Attorney is just for someone who dumb down things for people. But you are able to tweak your contract accordingly to what meets your needs. If something sounds, I don't want to do that, you have the authority to negotiate. It's called negotiating. I'm not doing that. And you literally line it out. And if they don't like it, then, well, why not? And that's how you get them. So that goes back to what he said when you sign. Remember, if you look at your birth certificate and then you have a certificate of live birth, look at the difference in how your name is on both those documents. And that will let you know who and what you are and why are there two of you. Sorry to interrupt you, brother, but that was a really good point that you brought up with the straw man.
Yeah, but when you sign your name, and then listen, man, I told y'all what to sign. I just told you the code now. It's UCC-122, and then put all rights reserved just after your signature. Go to your bank. Tell them that you want to re-sign all your paperwork and re-sign it that way. And I bet you they call you and ask you, tell you can't do it. And you say, yes, I am. This is my signature. I'm changing all my signatures like that. They're going to, because they know what you're saying. They know, because it's a strong man. Have you ever thought about, and I don't want to get too far into this, but have you ever thought about when you get a loan from the bank, you don't get the money, right? The money and stuff ain't liable until you sign your name. Once you sign, now you're paying debt, but you never really get the cash. They don't give you a mortgage loan for $100,000 and give you $100,000 and let you go buy the house. That ain't what they do. You get a mortgage loan for $100,000, and once you sign on that dotted line, you sign it to pay. So basically, they're not giving you nothing. But once you sign, you are creating the debt by signing your name on the paper. And once you sign your name on the paper, you have created that $100,000 debt for that property. So now you start paying. But before you sign, there's no money.
It's actually that little check they give you is a promissory note. And it's actually, once you sign it, it then becomes a legal tender. Yeah. So if you read your $20 bills, your $100 bills, you'll see in fine print, Federal Reserve note, and it'll say it's used for public or private. So it's a promissory note that already, if you look at the signature, the U.S. Treasury signed it. That's when it makes it a tender. So we can make our own promissory notes, and I'm not going to go into this, but our signatures or autographs, I'll say, depending on what you identify as, holds more value than you would ever imagine. So I'll stop on that note, though, because I don't want to get into that. I'm going in the weeds. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay, Queen.
Yeah, we going down the rabbit hole now. This is you talking. You talking some serious stuff.
I'll
Like
be
I say,
quiet,
yeah.
sir.
No. This is all good stuff. People need to know this. You got some people that are interested in that as well. That's why it's good to have an LLC. If you have a family, like in the state of North Carolina, LLC is $125, right? Um, what can you do with your LLC? Anything that your family business creates. If you create a trademark, if you can have businesses. If you have a family business, if you buy property, all right, and that shields you as your person, all right, because it's all about debt. See, that's the whole thing. And I'm not trying. I'm not going. I have a young lady on the line, so I don't want to sound too vulgar, but this is what I'm gonna say it like this. All right, is the first rule of pimping. All right, is to never let the prostitutes have money, and that rule extends to everything. And you, like you said, is you buy a house, the bank is not just gonna cut you. Just go in the vault and give you $100,000 to go and take to whomever or take to the contractors or whomever you buy. All of that stuff is going to be done without you touching any money whatsoever. But you have the debt, so you've not touched any money, but you're getting ready to pay some money. So like I said, yeah, it's kind of smooth how they do that, right? But you can still make it work to your advantage, all right? Because you, like I said, is with a house is unique because a house is the only thing that really that you have payments on, or that you can finance that can actually make you money, right? Just about everything else would depreciate in value. A house, you can actually make it appreciate in value while you're actually making payments on it. So if you know this kind of stuff, then okay, I know how the banks are gonna do. I'm not gonna get no cash. I'm not gonna get this. I'm not gonna get that. But I'm still gonna be able to make my money because I'm gonna play this game and I'm gonna do it right, and I'm still making my money, and I'm still doing the things I need. That trust is kind of like insurance. All right, what is it? I think what is it on insurance payments? When insurance payments get paid out, there are no taxes on that, right? I think that's the way that works. I'm not sure. Somebody correct me. All right, but then when you get like payments, life insurance or payments from insurance, there are no taxes. So the trust kind of works in the same way. Like that is okay. So this is how we're gonna hide these taxes. Just like Rosa say, you trying to make these people pay more taxes. You try to make them pay more taxes, you're gonna end up paying more taxes. Because like I said, they've shielded and they got loopholes and they got this and they got that and they're controlling that. Plus, they'll give to charities and do a bunch of different things, tax incentives, in their business to where, okay, so how much taxes I pay? It's like, Trump right now, they're trying to force him to show how much he can pay in tax. We know Trump ain't paid no taxes, but the thing is he's not paid taxes and nothing that he did is illegal, right? So, but the people are gonna look at, oh man, he's not paying his fair share. See, so it's that type of deal. See, so I yield the floor.
That was really good.
Yeah.
But it's not against the law. That's just the game they play, man. We just gotta play the game with them, man. That's the good thing about it. The game is for everybody. If you gotta play, it's not just for one person. It's for everybody, and that's why I said if you know the code, you can play the game, man, and you can get in there and work them codes, boy. It's another code. Y'all just don't know about the UCC codes.
Hey,
Y'all
hey, hey.
listen. I would just tell y'all, man, look into these UCC codes because they got UCC codes for everything. And I'm learning. I've been on it, but I really didn't pay that much attention. But I'm getting back into it. So it's UCC codes for everything, y'all. And we just need to use this stuff to our advantage. But also we have to understand how to make understand how money works, because the brother Leonard was talking about the insurance agencies. Well, that's the foundation of America.
Yep.
It's the insurance firms. And that's how they built America is based off the insurance firms. As we know that first commodities, the most of these companies started off with having insurance for the slaves, for us, for our ancestors, and they had insurance on. So, you have people that they talk about some of the slaves that were jumping off the ships and stuff. You understand, they was considered property. So if you have somebody on the ship and they see that the slaves probably ain't gonna make it, well, you know what I'm saying, from an insurance aspect, they throw them off and say that that's the insurance claim. They lost property. And this is why a lot of these major companies, if you trace them back, their inception was insurance with the slaves. But insurance right now is the backbone of America. If you look at most banks or most business people, their money in insurance. It's in insurance, y'all. Stock market, that ain't nothing. Because I forgot that market that the insurance market is that rivals the stock market.
Mm-hmm.
It does the same thing the stock market does, but it's not the stock market. You don't have the risk. You don't take the same risk that the stock market takes. It just take the highs, but it never take the lows. It never take the dips. So when the stock market go up, it go up too. But when the stock market drop, this stays the same. It
Kind of
only
like an annuity.
it only takes the gains. It never take the losses. And when the stocks go down, it keeps going this way. Then it'll go up, but it'll never go down. And we don't know that. We got to get into that. But so what I wanted to do y'all want to add on to something? Because I have a video that I'm gonna play. It's promoting a business that I'm a part of, my econ. So I wanted to let y'all talk about the property. Matthew, you want to jump in here?
Sure. Just really listening tonight, man. You all are hitting some really good points. One thing I definitely want to say, man, a lot of stuff that's going on in the economy right now. I know a lot of people, we're talking a lot about like savings and things of that nature. But for a lot of people, it may be very, very hard for you to do so right now. It may be very, very hard. I know some people have not, got any type of unemployment yet. There's only been, one round of stimulus checks kind of going out, and there's a lot of people in a lot of cities who are barely making it. And a lot of people, are, I must say, finna. I'm not gonna say getting ready to. I'm country. They're finna lose their homes. So, the first thing when it comes to economics or any type of finances, and I am by no means no expert. I have just lived life, and I've read a lot of books, and I have, I just got some experience. I would just say the first thing you can do is really just get your house in order before you can invest in anything. Get yourself together, get your mentality together. Make sure that you are making enough money to take care of what you have, because for some people, sometimes, $100 is a lot of money, $20 is a lot of money, $5 is a lot of money if you don't have it. So that's one thing I want everybody to understand. Get yourself together first, whatever you got to do in a righteous way. And I know it may be hard right now. So if you're struggling making ends meet, whatever right now, maybe investing may not be the thing for you. So, but continue to listen and buy books, watch videos on YouTube and just study. So when you do get in a position, you can begin to elevate yourself. The second thing I would say is something that we talked about quite often on a lot of economic Mondays, economic empowerment, is to make sure that you sit down and create yourself a budget. If you do not have a budget, then you are spending money aimlessly, and that's not something that you want. Anybody who's wealthy, unless you got like multiple billions and billions of dollars, outside of that, anybody that has like a net worth between like 1 to 10 million, I can guarantee you that they know where their money going in and out. They know that stuff is tracked. So make sure that you track your money. You see where you're spending your money on, and if you can cut certain things like subscriptions or I don't know whatever you have, you can cut some things in some area and put more money towards a credit card, and all them things are great. And so the next thing I'll say is this. I think the brother Leonard was talking about stocks, and he talked about brother Leonard had talked about he was talking about credit. For me, the most important thing Like I'm not gonna say you can't be wealthy without credit, but like to me, I'm really, really starting to learn how powerful credit is. A lot of people are leveraging their credit to become like multi-millionaires. And that's something that I'm really, really learning from like reading books and just studying and different things I'm implementing in my life. Getting increases on credit cards and, increase your credit utilization and there's different things like that. And so big thing I would tell everyone is if you have any type of sense, learn how to use your credit, build your credit up, pay that credit card bill off, continue to use that credit card if it's not closed, and then, pay it off every single month. That's something very, very simple you can do to increase your credit score. And then if you want to pass along generational wealth, put your kids on your credit account. Put them as like an actual user in their credit account. So while you're paying off your credit card and you building up your credit score, you're building your kids' credit score. Do this while your kids are 5 or 6 years old. So by the time these are things that I'm implementing in my life. By the time they're 18, 19, 20 years old, and if you've been running your life right, then they have like an 800, high 700, 800 credit score. So they can walk into banks and they have a lot of freedom on things that they can do. Additionally to that, again, and this is if you have the money to do certain things. Create a custodial account for your kids. Create these things for your kids. Get a custodial account. I'm not going to go into all that type of stuff, but I know Vanguard has them, Charles Schwab has them, et cetera, et cetera. Get your custodial account, and you ain't got to put $100 in a month. If all you can afford is put $20 in there a month, put $20 in a month. And I'm telling you, through compound interest, by the time your kids become like 19 or 20 years old, your kids may not be a millionaire, but they'll be far better off than where you were when you were small. So not only are they going to have good credit, but now they're going to have investments. So that gives them 2 steps ahead of. Remember that our kids is supposed to stand on our shoulders. My son or my daughter should look at me in my eye. You get what I'm saying? They should be on my shoulders. That makes sense what I'm saying? And so yeah, that's really, really my piece. That's really, really my piece, man. Much love. Everybody's making some great talking points. And one other thing that my brother Leonard said, everybody was saying great things. But Brother Leonard said when he was talking about dividends, for me, I look at dividend stocks, and so I invest in bonds. There's bonds pay ETFs. Bonds pay dividends, ETFs pay dividends, not all, and then stocks, some of them pay dividends. And so, if you really take the time to study the market, is like my brother Leonard was talking about, and also Sarah, we also, I think all of you kind of hit on this particular point, but if you take the time to study the market and you started investing in the dividends like AT&T, I think right now AT&T goes for like $29, but per share that you own, they'll pay you 51 cents per quarter. So they pay you 4 times a year. TD Bank, I can't remember how much they pay in dividends, but it's like 50 some cent per share that you own per quarter. You have like IBM. IBM has, it's been around for a long time. IBM pays $6.80 some cents per quarter. You get what I'm saying? And there's ETFs that pay, X amount of money. So you could really be starting off small and say, man, shucks, I'm only making $2 a year. But just understand and realize you are now an owner in a company. And so that's $2. That's $2 that you didn't have yesterday. And so then tomorrow or next month, take that $2 and make it $3. And then take that $3, make it $4. And just continue to build it. Remember that wealth is something that's built slowly over time, at least for us, because we didn't have a head start. And I'll just leave this one adage to you all that I heard, that I read. They said, 2 guys talking. They said, when was the best time to plant a tree? So when is the best time to plant a tree? And the other guy responded, he said, 20 years ago. Then the guy asked, he said, well, then when is the next time to plant a tree? He said, today. So don't worry about what happened yesterday. Pick yourself up today and start today. That's my piece.
Outstanding, brother. Outstanding.
That's some wise words right there.
Yes, sir.
What I think what I'm gonna do, I might not even go into what I was gonna talk about. I'll save that for another time. But what I want to do is I want to promote my new video I got. So I'm gonna share my screen and I'm gonna promote my video. I don't care. Hey, Facebook, YouTube, don't strike me. I know it's music, but let's go. This is my new business. I'm gonna play my video.
Am I wrong for thinking out the box from where I stay? Am I wrong for saying I choose another way? I ain't trying to do what everybody else doing, just cause everybody doing what they all do. If one thing I know, I fall but I grow. I'm walking down this road of mine, this road that I go home. So am I wrong for thinking that we could be something for real? Now am I wrong for trying to reach the things that I can't see? But that's just how I feel. That's just how I feel. That's just how I feel. Trying to reach the things that I can't see. Am I tripping?
Oh yeah, I'm proud of my work. I'm proud of my work. But so if y'all see that video floating around, you know it's mine. Promoting my econ, and I'll talk about my econ another show. But if you listen to the words of that song, did you hear what he said? Am I wrong? You know, to think of he said he wanted to think outside the box. He wanted to do something different, and that's what we have to do, man. We don't want to be thinking the same. What's wrong with dreaming? Something wrong if we want to dream, if we want to do different than what we've seen being done, because it's all about ending generational curses and moving further. You know, we've been held back for so long, and it's up to us to move our family and our lineage further than the last generation. So we have to do things different. We have to take risks and fall and get up. But we have to do this to move and end this generational curse as far as when it comes to being financially literate. And you know, that's what I feel like we all striving to do is to end that curse and move forward. So with that being said, I want to give everybody an opportunity to close out. You know, let people know where they can find y'all. And again, I really appreciate everybody that watched this live, that watched the playback. And I also appreciate y'all for taking y'all time out, y'all busy schedule and being up here.
I appreciate it. This is Shavonda. Again, Uncharted Truth. You can find me on IG at create.shante, Chante. I'm an artist based here in San Diego. Along with the creating, always in the books, I literally have my Noah Webster 1828 next to me and my Black's Law Dictionary next to me. And my iPad is already on some stuff that's like going down the rabbit hole. So I encourage people to take a little time out their day to just read up on something. I don't care if you go to MSN and see what's trending in finances, see what's trending in the news, see what's going on whitehouse.gov, look at the presidential actions, just try to keep up to see what's going on. I said it before and I will always say it, information is always evolving. We can't stay stuck and complacent. We have to keep up. And I know people are kind of stubborn with change, but I highly encourage that we remember and definitely pay homage to our history and the origins of things, but to also check out all the additions. All right. Again, information is always evolving and is very paramount. And I encourage that we keep up with what's going on because a year ago, we would never have saw this coming, what's going on now. So a lot of things are shifting. And if you're not keeping up, you are already behind. And again, much love to everybody on the panel. Much love to you, Seth. I appreciate you. And until next time, peace and much love.
All right, peace and much love to the sister. This is Leonard Walker, president of Descendants of American Slaves Incorporated, Descendants of American Slaves Political Action Committee. You can find me on Facebook. Just look me up, Leonard Walker. You'll see me with my shirt on. If you want to be a part of our group, we can be a part of our group. Big things are going to be happening coming up real soon. So just keep your ear to the ground, keep me in your prayers, keep your eyes on me, so we can make things to happen together. Also, the thing that I always want to leave us with, and I'm gonna keep saying this, is that nobody is coming to save us. No one. There is no Superman coming to save us. If we desire salvation, we must save ourselves. There's conversations like this and other ones where we, got knowledge flowing, and like I said, there's nobody here who's an expert. We're just everyday people like everybody else that are doing smart things, all right, trying to better ourselves, better our lives, and then pass that information on, okay? Everybody has to start somewhere, all right? Most of us humbly begin somewhere. So, but the thing is that nobody's coming to save us. Every single year, something happens to where that statement is proven every year, all right? Whether it be a president in office, whether it be, whomever, nobody's coming to save us. We have to save ourselves. So in saving ourselves, we have to make it up in our mind that, okay, I'm gonna save myself. So I got to get some of this knowledge, and I got to start changing my life. One of the things I started doing a while ago is I started doing 3 things per year. This is not New Year's resolution. This is, I identified 3 things per year that I could do within my reach or within my goal, achievable goals that I could do to change my life, right? That could be, start a bank account, stop smoking, get your health together. If your license is suspended, work on getting your license restored. All right, 3 things every year, right, to be able to improve your life. And before you know it, in 5 years, you will have done 15 things to transform your life, and that is transformation. So I leave you with that. Nobody's coming to save us, and always be looking to transform your life through positive action, and then through your own initiative and your own through your own energy and your own power of empowerment. Peace, family.
Peace, everyone. This is Master You. Great conversation. I came in a little late, but when I did come in, it was a lot of wise words. As a brother just said, Brother Leonard, he said, "There's no one's coming to save you." He's absolutely right. In our nation, in the 5% nation, the supreme alphabet, the 19th letter is self a savior. And basically, you break that down, you are your own savior. And I know some people don't want to believe that, but it's you. It's always been you. It's you. And once you realize that you're the only one that can save yourself, then you move and adjust. You move and you adjust accordingly. And then one final thing I would say, I would just continue to bring it home. If you are a parent, it's okay to live for yourself. So let me just say that first. But if you are a parent, it's your job to make sure that your kids are in a better position than you. So don't be selfish. It's okay to be. It's okay to be selfish sometimes. I understand what I'm saying, but don't play with your kids' life. If you grew up in poverty, make sure that your kids don't grow up in poverty. Whatever you got to do to make things right for them, then do that. You get what I'm saying? If your mom and your dad or your grandma treated you good in life, make sure that you can take care of them, in their latter years in life. Make sure they know how gracious that you are. And the only way that you're going to do that is, one, you have to save yourself. And the other thing is you have to make sure that you're financially able to be able to do those things. So those are only 2 jewels that I leave with you all. Much love and respect. And that's my piece.
Hey, this is Richard Medley Jr. out of Arkansas. You can find me on Facebook. I just want to first congratulate Stuart on a great video. I know that'll be very successful for you. And to everybody, during this pandemic, We didn't see this necessarily coming, but I wanted to jump on what we had talked about, the job thing. Take this time if you could get a new job, apply for a new job. You can go on to LinkedIn and update a good profile, take some of those assessment tests, and then get on there and apply every day, a couple of times a day. Do that with LinkedIn. These two resources, you can make your profile and resume and go for that job that you've always wanted to. So take advantage of this time. Take advantage of this situation to assess where you are, be honest with yourself where you are, but most of all, decide where you want to go and go forward. Because, hey, as we all know, nothing is promised. He said nobody is coming forward. So, hey, you might as well go forward. Peace.
Oh yeah, I want to also, just thank everybody for coming up here tonight, and we look forward to seeing y'all on the next um, economic empowerment roundtable. And hopefully we just grow from here, man. And the key is this, y'all. A lot of people got knowledge, but it's about applying what you learn. And the proof is in the pudding. You have to apply what you learn, and it's good to get it. But are you able to get it and apply it? That's what it really matters. Apply. So with that being said, peace and black power. We'll catch y'all on the next show.